Aew Dynamite starts with Orange Cassidy versus Matt Hardy, and Cassidy wins with a roll-up. Chris Jericho comes out and he's upset that he didn't beat MJF last week, and he tells MJF he's not going to stop and says he wants one more match with MJF, and if MJF wins, Jericho will never wrestle in AEW again. MJF comes out and says being able to say he ended Chris Jericho's career will be legendary, and he accepts the match and it will happen at All Out. The Lucha Brothers, Pentagon and Phoenix, with Alex Abrahantes in their corner, versus the Varsity Blondes, Brian Pillman Jr. and Griff Garrison with Julia Hart in their corner. Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy are watching from the crowd, and the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson, watch from the ramp. The Lucha Brothers win the match with a tag team pile driver. After the match, Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy stare down the Lucha Brothers, and the Bucks get in the ring and shove everyone into each other, but they get kicked by Pentagon and Luchasaurus, then dived on by Phoenix and Jungle Boy. Jamie Hayter with Rebel and Britt Baker in her corner versus Red Velvet, and Jamie wins with her running lariat. After the match, Britt Baker gets in the ring to stomp Velvet, but Chris Statlander comes out to make the save. Backstage, the Dark Order say everything is fine between them, then Evil Uno and Alex Reynolds start to argue, and Reynolds and John Silver walk away. CM Punk comes out for an in-ring interview with Tony Schiavone, and Tony asks Punk if he could name one reason why he came back, what it would be, and the crowd chants Darby Allin, and Punk says he's back for Pentagon, Phoenix, Brian Pillman Jr., Jungle Boy, but before all of that young talent, he has to face Darby Allin. Then Punk says he's retiring the Voice of the Voiceless nickname because the crowd has a voice and the people in the back listen at this company. Punk says he still has to ask himself if he's the best in the world, and the crowd chants yes, and Punk says that's somebody else's shtick and they have to be a bit more patient for that one. Then Punk says hi to his wife April at home, formerly known as AJ Lee. Darby Allin, John Moxley and Eddie Kingston with Sting in their corner versus the ringmen Ryan Nemeth, JD Drake and Cesar Bononi with Peter Avalon in their corner, and Darby wins with a coffin drop on JD Muff. After the match, Daniel Garcia attacks Darby, then runs away quick. Backstage, Ty Conti is being interviewed, and the Bunny Alley walks up to Ty and offers her a spot in the Hardy family office, and Ty rips the contract and Ellie says ew, and then slaps Ty hard. Then they get pulled apart from brawling. Kenny Omega comes out with Don Callis, Brendan Cutler and Michael Nakazawa, and Callis says Kenny's going to beat Christian Cage at All Out. Then Christian comes out and says it's weird that Callis was manipulating a 10-year-old Kenny, and maybe it's weirder that Kenny is still letting it happen. Then Kenny says, "You think you know me?" Then Callis tells Christian he's always going to be the second best, and Christian starts punching on, but he's outnumbered. Then Frankie Kazarian comes out with a lead pipe to help Christian. Backstage, John Moxley says he's taking on Satoshi Kojima at All Out. Billy Gunn and his sons Colton and Austin versus Nick Comoroto, QT Marshall and Aaron Solo with Paul White on commentary. And during the match, QT is pointing at Paul, so Paul stands up yelling, "Don't point at me," and Colton wins with a small package roll-up. Backstage, Dan Lambert with Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page by his side pokes fun at Sammy Guevara, Darby Allin and Orange Cassidy, and says the fans want to see soft and weak because they are soft and weak. Malachi Black versus Brock Anderson with his dad Arn in his corner in the main event, and Malachi wins with his spinning back heel kick. After the match, Malachi gets in the ring with a chair and Arn stands in the way, so Malachi throws the chair down and tries to hit a kick, but Arn blocks it, so Malachi kicks Arn in his Andersons, then hits his kick. Lee Johnson comes out to check on Arn and Brock as Malachi walks away. We'll see you next week for the next Dynamite highlight.